Hey guys, it's Mineus. This channel gets a lot of great comments. Sometimes you'll have questions that deserve better than a text response. Other times you'll have video or topic suggestions that are really good, but don't quite work for some reason or may just not fill up a full video. The solution to this is the video response series, which ends up being a bit like a quickfire version of my usual topical videos. We'll start with a question from Sabo641, who asks, what is your feeling on the ammo system in Mass Effect 2 and 3 as opposed to Mass Effect 1? What would you want to see in Mass Effect Andromeda? Sabo then goes on to talk about the ammo dilemma in Mass Effect Andromeda a little. I think this is a fantastic subject. There are people who are really passionate about this, especially on behalf of the original ammo system. I'm in the other camp. I like the thermal clip system for 2 and 3 a lot more, and feel like that change is a big reason that I like the combat in 2, and especially in 3, more than the original. To refresh your memory, guns in the original Mass Effect basically had unlimited ammo, but you could only fire so many rounds in a short amount of time, or your gun would overheat. The guns in Mass Effect 2, and most of the guns in 3, also had virtually unlimited ammo, but required a thermal clip to keep the gun at operating temperature. Firing shots then used up the clip, and if you ran out of clips, you couldn't fire your gun at all. This new thermal clip system then became standard in the Milky Way galaxy, but the new game won't be in the old galaxy. It will be in Andromeda. And while I'd expect some of the thermal clip guns to be brought along, it would be outright bizarre if the people of the Helios cluster used these standard Milky Way thermal clips. So Andromeda aliens shouldn't drop thermal clips because that wouldn't make sense, and weapons from Andromeda shouldn't require thermal clips because that also makes no sense. What's the solution here? Maybe the old weapons would need to be retrofitted. I'd be completely against reverting to the original system. Weapons that overheat annoy the crap out of me. But more than that, I like the ability to unload the contents of an entire clip into an enemy, and timing my reloads in between abilities was a part of Mass Effect gameplay that I enjoyed immensely. I think what needs to be done is something that you started to see towards the end of Mass Effect 3, a hybrid-like system. In Mass Effect 3 DLC, we started getting guns like the M7 Lancer and Collector SMG, which operated in a virtually identical way that the guns did in the original Mass Effect. This is one of the benefits of a sci-fi shooter, especially one with alien weapons. Multiple crazy weapon systems with exotic ammo types fits just fine. You don't have to go with just one ammo system. Why not have guns that utilize the old overheat system, as well as retrofitted guns that used to use the old thermal clips, and guns that work with whatever crazy Andromeda ammo system that they add to this game? I'm not suggesting this as a compromise between the old and new ammo system camps. I'm suggesting this because guns that fire and act differently enhance gameplay diversity, something that is a huge plus to any shooter. And yeah, Mass Effect is a shooter, among many, many other things.
Interesting. Would someone like to tell me how this information slipped the net?
Next is a video suggestion from the Masquerade, who wants something on advisors, or in the case of Mass Effect, maybe officers. Cullen, Josephine, and Liliana's roles as advisors in Dragon Age Inquisition worked fantastically, and while the Mass Effect series has had advisor-like characters, none have been as directly involved in affairs as those three. Authorities like the Council, the Elusive Man, and both Admiral Anderson and Hackett advise and direct from afar. There are other characters that serve as assistants or engineers, but they're generally secondary. Really, 80 is the only character who exists in a comparable role, and I would like more characters like that. A staff of advisors would make sense. You're supposed to be running a colonization attempt. There is no way you would try to do something like that without a number of experts. Experts who are with you and play a large role in forming policy. You would need scouting experts, technical advisors, and operational managers, among many other possibilities. Of course, the traditional on-ship roles that you get in Mass Effect would also need to be filled. These additional roles, both advisory and on-ship, provide a great chance to diversify the roster of characters. Literally. There are a ton of alien species from the Milky Way that I'd like to see in Andromeda. How about a Hanar advisor? Or a Volus procurement specialist? Or an Elcor cook? Seriously, that sounds awesome to me. There is one possibility that goes against this, and at some point is worth a full video, and that's that the colonization attempt you lead might be a mostly human one. The language in the leak sort of suggests this. If that's the case, then I'd expect these advisors to be human. But really, that colorful crew of Hanar, Volus, and Elcor sounds much more interesting to me. Snow White wants to know where the name Mineus comes from. Is it Mass Effect related? So not surprisingly, Mineus is not my real name.
What?
It's a gamer tag that I've been using that actually predates the Mass Effect series. So, wow, that's a while ago. Anyway, I'll keep this short because it might only be interesting to me, but Mineus is in homage to one of my favorite figures from human history, Arminius. The real pronunciation might be Arminius, or at least the one German guy I asked pronounced it like that, although the name is Roman, the language Latin, so I don't know how the name is really pronounced, and I would be unlikely to get it right even if I knew. But Arminius is the guy most responsible for stopping the advance of the Roman Empire into northern Europe 2,000 years ago. His forces hit the Romans so hard that they didn't even try to take German lands ever again. Basically, he's got an awesome life story and has had a huge impact on history. If you want to know more, I'll have some links in the description box. So as an admirer of his, I go by Mineus. Also, I like the way Mineus sounds, and I like the way Mineus looks, and as far as this channel goes, it's a unique enough name not to be confused with anyone else. Jacob would like to know,
What the hell are you doing?
this weekend. Well, Jacob, I'm glad you asked, because this weekend I'm headed to Boston for PAX East. Actually, my plane is scheduled to leave not long after this video posts. Of course, when I planned this trip, I was hoping that BioWare would be there in some capacity, and as time went on, that chance became more and more unlikely, and finally they tweeted this.
What?
Even though they won't be there, I'll try to get at least one video up, and hopefully have some fun while I'm at it. But I will be tweeting from the show floor a lot, giving my impressions on games and such. So if you want a closer view of PAX East, or want to inquire about games that are there, be sure to follow me on Twitter at MineusGC. I'll have a link to my Twitter page in the description box. I don't have an annotation for it yet, basically because it's a huge pain in the ass to get a link off of YouTube. We'll consider this a dress rehearsal for EA's new event, EA Play in Los Angeles, which I will also be attending, or at least will stand outside the door with a sad look on my face. That event should have something Mass Effect related, so we'll look forward to that. But for now, if you want to know more about what's going on at PAX East, hit me up on Twitter. This has been video response number 2, hopefully the second of many. If you've got questions, comments, or ideas that you'd want to see in a video, be sure to let me know via the comments section, email, or Twitter. If you like this video, please give it a like. It really helps out the channel. Keep an eye on MineusGC for PAX East, and of course, Mass Effect videos. But for now...
I should go.